Still turning. We are live right now.
Look at that. I'm going to have to lean back so the hat doesn't shake the eyes.
We kind of talk random for a minute or two and
let
more people get in and join us.
We talk random always.
Yes. Welcome to what we are calling in the interim whiskey talk and friendship conversation.
Is that what you're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
You're calling it that?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm trying to get this so I can see comments on my phone, since you got your comments way over there and I can never see them. So we're going to play with that. But why don't we go ahead and introduce? Okay, you're going to mess with it.
Yeah, here.
So this is the intro. This is like the pre-show before the show.
This is where it
behind the scenes.
That's right. Behind the scenes on the front end of the show.
I'm trying to find the chat box on Bart's phone.
That's brand new.
I don't have it on mine either.
See,
is there no chat box? Can you not do the chat box on phones? Anybody comment?
So you're asking, you're throwing that out as an opening comment. I think we should just throw into the show.
We'll get going.
I'll play with it.
Yeah.
Oh no, there it is.
You found it. I'm going to point out while he's looking. I'm wearing my gray manga shirt with the Puerto Rican leather visor. That's 100% genuine leather. Is what's going on.
Genuine.
It's genuine. I don't know if it's top grain, but it's genuine. And I'm filling time.
All right.
He's filling. Here we go.
Everybody joining in. Of course, I'm Scott.
I'm Bart.
We are the Scotch Test Dummies. And tonight joining us is Jenna from Los Angeles, known on Instagram as Whisky, a Go Girl.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody.
My name's Jenna. I live out in sunny Los Angeles. It was almost 120 degrees today. So, it was pretty miserable. But I am just kind of navigating my way through whiskey right now. I've been doing this for a little over a year, and I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and drink as much as I can. And
we got a cold spell going on here. It's like
81. Well, 81 was the high, but it's down to 66.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty miserably hot today.
I love fall. It feels like fall is coming, but it's just a big joke because it'll be 120 here within probably a week or two. All right, now we're what are you primarily on Twitter? Do you do you?
No, I'm just on Instagram. I had a small vintage resale business that I actually built through Instagram about 5 years ago.
Cool.
And when I started getting into whiskey, I knew that Instagram was a great place to learn and meet people, and I think it is, better than the internet. So you can really learn a lot from a community, and the whiskey community here has really been amazing. I've met some really awesome people, and it's been a really fun journey. So I'm just on Instagram. And
very cool. Now I got a comment, Scott. You got the camera high angle today.
That's about where it normally is.
Seems very high. It's like I got to look up there and then look down
over
here.
This.
Well, you got to look over that.
Yes.
I'm not looking over anything. It's way up there.
We should switch spots.
You've got Jenna on a pedestal. You've put her up high.
That's right.
Way up here, high. See, then I got to look over here. But then up here is where I got to go. A lot of movement.
Now, Jenna, of course, like she said, real active on Instagram, real good whiskey posts, pictures and stuff coming out. You had teased something a couple of days ago. You're going to reveal something in a week, in a week's time, or this next week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. After we take a look at Eagle Rare.
Mention more of that. That's what we're reviewing.
That's right. We need to intro that.
We got to do the whole coveted, patented intro.
Anyway, we do have Eagle Rare, which still on the back does still come with a 10-year age statement.
Boom.
And Bart, what are we going to do?
We're going to test it. I got too close to the North Korean bowl. I got a little burnt right there. Felt like I was with Jenna, 120 degrees.
I don't know. I felt the heat of that thing.
You bet. Yeah, it's just bringing it in. 25 watts, but it feels like 120. It's just coming in. All right. Now, what do we got going on? You're looking at comments. You got anything before we start sliding in? It looks like you already poured.
We poured. Yes, I've got coin. I've got coin 284.
Sweet. I am popping 285.
And the reason we poured, and I even opened this yesterday, we've reviewed Eagle Rare in the past.
Yes.
And when we first popped the bottle and did our tasting and took our notes, it was good. It was kind of average. Didn't know what everybody was talking about how it was so good.
Right.
A month later, when we went to film the review,
you loan me the bottle to test? Boom, it's over there for a while.
It's been opened.
Oxidization's going
oxidized a little bit. Boom. And almost seemed like a different bourbon.
Right. It was lively.
So probably 20 minutes ago, we poured our drinks just to let it get a little air.
Good.
Air.
Idea. Now, I got to ask. So, Jenna and Scott, you do the Instagram.
Yes.
I've never really, although I got the app, I don't even go in there and mess around. It's mostly, isn't it mostly like photography and stuff going on? I mean, fill me in. Let's have Jenna fill me in.
Yeah, so, okay. Instagram is at least, it's like a bridge between people. So take just the whiskey community, for example. We have so many people in so many parts of the world, and it's such an easy way to interact with, people within your community. So I think it's a really useful tool, and you can post pictures, you can post videos, you can, send direct messages. It's a really easy and fun platform, and I really enjoy using it. So.
Now, see, I know you've been playing around with it because, I mean, you're not limited by characters. It's all that. It's way more open.
Yeah. So Twitter has the character count, 120, 130 characters. So that's really more short, kind of, quotations, couple sentences, and you're moving on.
Pick.
With Instagram, you can post a picture and you can put 2 sentences with it, or you can put 2 pages worth of. You can type a whole
story.
Yeah.
Really? So it's almost like a little blog almost.
Yeah.
Yes, it is like a mini blog, basically.
Huh.
So like a mini diary that everyone reads.
And you were able to use it for you would find real cool retro attire or something, and then you're able to post that and describe it, and then people are able to buy it.
When I started that about 5, Instagram was pretty new. It only came out in, I think, 2010. And so there wasn't very many of us. And so I'm a big fan of vintage clothing, and so I would go to estate sales and thrift shops, and I would flip it, and I would just do everything through Instagram. I would post a picture, post the description, run everything through PayPal, and now there's tens of thousands of people who do it. So
wow.
So I just thought that it's something I was familiar with, so I wanted to learn about whiskey, and I thought that was a great place to start.
Perfect. All right, so speaking of whiskey.
Well, and going back even on, I did the announcement video. We did
great,
a little.
It's like a tease to me right now.
So I did the 40-second pre-announcement for the live stream.
40,
and
not 41.
41, 42 seconds,
could
whatever
have been
it is.
6.
But somebody even commented they let their Eagle Rare sit for 20,
breathe a little.
For 20 minutes before they even drink it.
Wow, that demands
patience,
perseverance.
Commitment. Great oak and cinnamon.
So it's the nose for me is when you open a can of Dr. Pepper.
I get that too.
That fizzy kind of burn that you get in your nose. That is kind of that's what I get off just the first,
Yeah, a little bit of that cola.
Yes.
And the sweetness wrapped in there with a little vanilla.
Yes, vanilla. So I describe it as, I love to bake. And so when you're adding the vanilla extract into your batter, that smell is this.
Now, we're huge dog lovers. We each have German Shepherds that are related to each other. I heard a dog. Is that your dog in the back?
Oh, yeah. I have a French Mastiff.
You love it. That is good.
Yeah, and a Frenchton. But yeah, he's got a big bark. So.
That is good. Ours will occasionally, we'll be recording a show and we'll get howling sometimes. We call mine the Chupacabra.
Are they sisters or?
Brother and sister.
Actual brother and sister, yeah.
When we got an early show when we brought them both on when they were pups.
The Hakushu 12,
wasn't it? Hakushu 12, yes. And your pup had the biggest paws, and he is huge.
Yeah.
His name is Blender because he told his wife he was going to get her a blender for Valentine's Day. And
the dog's name is really Blender?
It is, yeah.
That's so brilliant.
Well, I told my wife I was getting her a new blender and for Valentine's Day, and then I gave her the puppy, so then she named him Blender.
Right.
And then I bought her a Vitamix blender.
Oh, really?
So she got
great
both.
great.
You have to redeem yourself a little bit.
22 Catch 22 points out that you do podcasts as well.
I have done a few podcasts for the Abv Network. I do some work over for them as well. That whole team of people, Steve Akeley is, I mean, like a bourbon genius. And he's been incredibly kind to me and taught me a lot. So I do occasionally fill in as a host over there. I've never done a live one though. It's my first live thing, really.
Cool. That's good.
You're doing good.
Yeah. Well, you're with us, and we don't know what we're doing. So
you're
going to do great.
I don't know what I'm doing either. You're going to have to teach me.
We roll. Yeah, we roll. We got North Korean light bulbs. Yeah, we just got it rolling.
And genuine visors.
Genuine, maybe top grain leather visors going on. Yeah, and manga shirt.
I need to get one of those.
That is it. That's right. You got to have that going on.
All right.
See, my wife's Puerto Rican, so I got to work it in whenever possible. The fans know. I believe that my wife's Puerto Ricanness makes me more worldly somehow.
Blah, blah, blah. That's what I just heard.
See, right now the fans are all, I'm sure they were calling for it. Like, when's he going to say more about the Puerto Rican?
So anyway, Eagle Rare 10.
Oh,
bringing it back.
Good.
Yeah.
Pull back in. Now,
I haven't had this. So when you said that this is what we were going to be reviewing, I was really excited. So to kind of revisit it is good.
Yeah, I've dove in. Wow. Sparky cinnamon right off the bat. Warming mouthfeel. A little bit of a stringent. Go ahead.
I get a little bit of like, it's like very grassy and earthy to me. Hay in a way. I don't know. I grew up riding horses, so maybe that's why.
Sure.
I'm finding that, but definitely some like earthy, grassy notes in there, almost kind of herbally.
Right. No, I get that herbalness exactly. Bruno.
I'm searching for that.
You're searching?
And we did not point out 45% also.
45 ABV. No, that's a good call with the herbal in there. But it lights me up right away. I kind of like that. As soon as it hits the palate, it's like a rush comes in.
Now, not to distract you more,
but
the Scotch 4 Dummies are watching, and they point out they like your shirt.
Boom. Love the Scotch 4 Dummies already. Way to go, gentlemen.
Bart is the goofy hat and the manga shirt wearing.
That's right.
Dummy.
Boom. I say boom a lot. What were you saying, Jenna? Sorry, I caught you mid-sip.
No, it's fine. I wish I would have known about the shirt thing. I would have.
You have manga? I know you got Hawaiian.
I would have found something. I have plenty of Hawaiian shirts. I would have, rivaled you with a sick Hawaiian shirt.
where this all started was early on. We were doing the show, and I went through my wardrobe pretty quick. I mean, it was getting pretty routine, and so we were like, where can we find some weird, crazy T-shirts? So we ran down to Goodwill.
The thrift store.
Yes. We hit Goodwill, and I found 2 manga shirts, and I was like, look at these. He's like, those are dumb. I'm like, they're on the show. I'm wearing it. He's like, well, I'm not wearing it. I'm like, well, that's good because it's extra large. This isn't kid size. And I tried to get him, what was it? There was a pink Kid Rock T-shirt.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, it would have been perfect.
It was like a female's.
Yeah,
from one of his tours.
One of his tours, it would have been.
And it was like a small or a medium.
Yeah,
it would have been.
I almost bought it, but I knew there was no way I was getting into that one.
Yeah, you may lose some ratings on that one.
True. Well, I try to do that on occasion. We switched shirts once, and it was like his shirt was painted on me. It was brutal. Matthew
D points out that the finish on the Eagle Rare is not his favorite. I'll tell you, I get a nice vanilla cream, an oakiness that it moves into. Now, keep in mind, this is a $30, $35 bottle of bourbon.
Sure.
A 10-year-old bourbon.
Right.
I think it's pretty good.
Right, but he's saying finish. Jenna, what do you get on the finish?
I like that, that good like tongue hug.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has that. But flavor wise, it's kind of just, it's oaky, but kind of just like, I don't know.
Yeah, for me,
I think I have to drink some more.
The finish drops off, if that's what it's
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. It's not like there's I love peated scotches where there's a very long tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying this finish definitely just kind of, it's like 2-3 seconds and boom and gone.
Yeah. Gives you a little squeeze and then dips out.
There you go. Yeah. For me, the entry is that first sip is like, whoo, it's really, I like the burst up front.
A lot of cinnamon, a lot of oak, which sometimes when I just say cinnamon and oak, sometimes that accompanies younger or cheaper bourbons. But this is more, you can tell it's aged longer, I think. More that it's a richer oak, a richer cinnamon, kitchen spice.
You're not getting the herbal yet?
Not a little, just a little bit of vanilla, not a lot. No, I still don't really get grassiness.
Yeah, because Jenna's grassy or herbal note is
definitely. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of spice out of this. I can definitely taste the vanilla, that little tinge of vanilla, but it's mostly very like earthy and like grassy, and
I get a little.
That's like the best way to describe it.
I get a little butter on the finish, just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little.
I would agree.
Little butter when I do my weird angry chipmunk inhalation thing.
Claire points out that
That's
the Eagle
third?
Rare. Yeah, Claire the third points out Eagle Rare is my standard of what bourbon should taste like. I think so. It's like I said, especially for a $30-$35 a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
If someone wanted to know what bourbon is, bam.
Yeah, this is a great place. Great. Yeah. For $30, I would drink this all day long.
Sure. Delicious.
Now, we were talking about before we went live. A lot of people will tell you that Eagle Rare 10 is Buffalo Trace aged 10 years.
Really? What people are saying that?
No, that's a pretty common.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, but you even point out the mash bill is the same, and it's a Buffalo Trace product. It's the same mash bill as the Buffalo Trace. Why don't they call it Buffalo Trace 10-year?
It's rare. It soars like an eagle. That's right. It's rare and soaring. I don't know. Let me look at this marketing here.
Yeah, I wish I had the Buffalo Trace. We finished it a few weeks back, so I don't have any at the moment, but it would be really interesting to compare those two side by side and see how they stack up against each other.
Are you calling for a future versus?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's a great versus.
Yeah, that would be a good versus.
And I've had a few bottles of Buffalo Trace, and it's $22, $23 in our parts.
Because I bet you in a straight up versus, we would be good to go. Yeah, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are the cornerstone. I'm not reading the rest of the marketing, but they're clearly going for that American kind of thing. All right, what other comments you got rolling in, brother? My phone isn't pulling them up.
Okay, I don't know.
Not either.
This is a international name, and I don't know what this means, so I apologize. I don't think this is bad. Okay. He says, "Has that girl ever watched Sasha and Pasha? Please ask her." I don't know what that is.
Sasha and Pasha.
It sounds like
I have it.
Fashion.
I don't know what that
clothing.
is.
Yeah, no.
Okay, what's the international name? Is it
SD Sludbajanovic?
All right.
Should I Google that?
That is Ukraine. Yeah, that would be good. No, it's Ukrainian. No, I'm making that up.
22 Catch 22 says that Eagle Rare is aged higher in the Rick House than Buffalo Trace, he thinks.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
See? That's why this community is so great, full of answers.
That's right. Higher in the Rick House. Love that.
Interesting.
What else? You got something? You got a nugget coming in?
Sparky Mule is with us. I have not seen Sparky Mule before, but he says shout out from Nola. That's Nolan's.
Oh.
Nola.
I didn't know that. You said Nolans, I got it. When you said Nola, It's like my second cousin's wife. What is this? What's Dan E got on there? He's got something.
Where at?
I don't know. Right at the top.
Squirrels.
Oh, he put squirrels.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
What's that for?
I don't know. He's got a series of them.
Mouse and a squirrel.
Okay. I don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
No, we know Dan E's like
Sasha and Pasha.
Is he New Jersey?
Yeah, it is Sasha and Pasha.
Aren't you? Yeah, I think Dan's New Jersey. He's gonna kill me if he's not Jersey. He sent the shirt and everything. I know, and I can't think of it.
So I'd be interested to know. So I know that this used to carry the single barrel statement on the bottle, and they had like a new like bottling system or like a mechanical bottling system, and they couldn't guarantee that like the first and last bottles didn't have like juice from 2 different barrels. So I'd be curious to know if anyone has a single barrel bottle and if it tastes different than this does.
That's interesting. Well, you're up on that. I didn't know any of that.
That would be, so if anybody has an answer to that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I do love I love actually for their marketing, I love their bottle style, the way
Yes,
just
I agree.
it's just
It's
etched
clean,
or
simple.
yeah, it's like stamped on there. It's not really a label except on the back. And even that is, I don't know, it looks like it's painted on all over the. I just love the feel of it.
Yeah, it's a clean bottle for sure.
Yes. They've got that going on.
Okay, I'll apologize. Apparently, Sasha and Pasha is porn, so don't look that up.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's what people are saying. Yeah.
No. Sorry.
All
right, just cut him off.
Yeah,
No. All right, give something good.
Yourself out.
See, you didn't even know that guy.
No,
got to go with Dan E or something. Dan E's been around forever.
I'm sticking with people we know.
Yes. I've never even
drinking. Well, we may move on to Scotch in a little bit. Drinking Caveman. So a few people commented they saw your Willet pot still in the back.
Yes. Oh, funny story. So do you like how I have a fancy wine stopper in there because I corked this pretty badly. I don't know if people remember seeing the picture. I posted it, but I had to get like a screw of some kind and like get the cork out. It was so it's got a fancy wine stopper.
Yeah, I had one old bottle go bad too. It was wasn't it my 3D3? I think it was my 3D3.
Yeah.
I found this old Brook Lottie 3D3 where and I went to pop that cork and it just was rotted.
That is my ultimate distillery crush. I love them.
Oh, me too.
When I get to Scotland, that is my first stop.
Oh God, yeah. Now, what's your favorite Brook Lottie?
So I haven't really. So it's funny. I did the Micro Provenance tasting that they just did the MP6 for the Octomore, and that was the first time I'd ever had Octomore, and I was terrified because like peated whiskeys were tough for me. In the beginning, like I would try it and I'd be like, I can't drink this. Like,
me too.
I'm like licked an ashtray or something.
Yes.
I can't hang, but I was determined. I was like, there's so many. I mean, I read all these beautiful reviews on all of these Isle of whiskeys, and I was like, I'm not letting this defeat me. So I just kept going. I kept revisiting, and I had that Octomore, and I don't know. It was like a life-changing moment for me. It was, so I just had the 6.3 a few weeks back.
There you go. I was going to ask you. That's a good one.
I wish I could swim in it. I love it.
Yes. Yeah, because I'd had, was it the 6.1, right? Wasn't it the 6.1? I had 5.
Yes.
I'd purchased the 6.1, high expectations.
Yeah.
We've had the Black Arts. I've had the 4.1. I love the Port Charlottes, both the Isle of Barley, Scottish Barley. So, and I get the 6.1 and it was good, but I liked the Port Charlotte Scottish Barley better than the 6.1. And then someone sent us a sample of the 6.3.
Yeah. It's
Walt.
Yeah.
And we tried it on a live show and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was layered and detailed and smooth and rich. And I broke out the 6.1, did a little verses right there, and you could just tell the difference. So
I just love how they're so out of the box. And I mean, even when I first started getting into whiskey, I mean, that beautiful blue bottle, I don't know, there's just something that I don't know, they hold a special place in my heart. Yeah. I really love what they do, and Adam Hannett's a genius. And
oh yes,
they're crushing it right now.
Oh yeah, they're killing it.
I was enthralled in comments there for a little bit, and I blocked the guy from commenting.
Oh,
so what's your favorite style of Scotch? Or let's say whiskey. What's your favorite whiskey? Oh, not brand, stop bourbon, rye.
You know, I get asked that question a lot, and it's a hard question to answer because I think every day it's different. What first got me into whiskey was Macallan 18. My husband was like bringing home crates of whiskey, and I never was into whiskey. I had a really bad hangover once on Jack Daniel's Honey, and like the worst like I have not had a hangover since that day, and that was like 3 years ago because it just ruined me. And so I was like, I don't do whiskey. Like, whiskey's gross. And he was bringing home all of these crates of whiskey. He has a lot of friends in the bar business, so he was just getting like these bottles. And one night he was drinking Macallan 18, and he's like, God, this is so good. And I was like, okay, like I will put down my $2 chuck and I will try it. And I tasted that Macallan 18, and that was it for me. Sweet. I was like, what is this? Why is this so good? I have to know more about this. And then that's kind of how the Instagram page came to be. I just wanted to learn.
First of all, I love your husband.
Yes, good.
I love him too.
Yes, we wish he was closer. Anybody bringing home crates of whiskey is a fan already.
Including Macallan 18.
Yes.
There's some really good stuff in there. And so that is the bottle that kind of started my journey. And so I love Scotch. That's why they spell whiskey correctly without the E. No, I love Scotch. Bruichladdich is they're like my number one. But I love, I don't even know, Highland Park. The Highland Park 15, like if I was stranded on an island and could have one bottle forever, it would probably be Highland Park 15.
Really?
I just love that whiskey. And I love the Glenlivet 15. I think 15 years is a really just good age for Scotch. That's just a good number. But I'm really trying to just be open and try everything. And
I know our first few tastings, actually at my very first tasting, they'd had the Ardbeg the Ardbeg 10 was the peated one that was brought. And then they had the Talisker. Now, I like the Talisker right off the bat. Yeah, Talisker 10 is great, but the Ardbeg at my very first tasting, I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it was just like what you said. Yeah, I felt like I was like, this is like ashtray, like smoker's ashtray. Yeah. And now I love the Ardbeg 10 and the Ardbeg.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So,
and that's what I tell people who are like getting into this. It's like, oh, I had this and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like if I would have just like written Isla's off after I had like my first, so sad. There's just so many beautiful whiskeys out there. So if you hit a roadblock and you find something you don't like, don't let it stop you. Revisit it, and your palate will change.
Yeah. Well, even early on, our first year and a half, you weren't a huge peat fan.
No.
And then
first 2 years, 2.5 years.
Although Scott's the one that buys, we both really like Compass Box blended whiskeys.
Yes.
Yeah, he picked up the Peat Monster.
Yeah.
And we were early on. He was like, come over and try this. And we were so early. We were probably like 4 months in. I'm judging the liquid by its paleness because they didn't add any color, obviously.
Right.
And then he's like, just try it. And I poured it and I tried it. And immediately I was a peat fan. I mean, that was it. And then I was like, I got to find more of this. So the Peat Monster was what kicked the door open. And then, I was just charging down the road.
So what I say, I love sherry scotches. Bart loves the peated scotches. For 9 out of 10 times, what do you go to?
If I had to pick something, I really love the Talisker Storm. That is probably one of my favorites. I love the Bourbon 14. I have that. I drink that a lot. Another one that's really good. So I like the Highlands. I guess if I were to categorize it.
Sure.
But yeah, those are probably two. And then I just was introduced to the Paul John, the Indian single malt. And
Very
wow.
good.
Yes. That is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Big things coming out of there. So.
How about En Route Fusion? Another Indian whiskey.
I've never had it.
That is very good.
I've never had it.
Avalon.
Avalons are good.
Sullivan's Cove coming up out of Tasmania.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I feel like Australia is like blowing up with whiskey right now. Huge things happening over there. So
yeah, it's cool.
It's
great time. So all that Scotch talk, you got to pull down something that's Scotch related, brother.
Before someone asked basically what on Instagram who you are. So I told them in the comments you're at Whisky a Go Girl.
Whisky a Go Girl. That is me.
WHISKY
spelled correctly.
AGO girl GIRL.
A lot of people confuse it with, I think, like whiskey yoga.
That's what I was going to tell you. When I first saw you on Instagram, I was like, well, it's Whiskey Yoga Girl, but there's never any yoga.
I don't do yoga. That's not my thing.
I've been doing yoga.
What is the
true?
What does the name mean? What is Whisky a Go Girl?
It's just something that kind of came out. So I used to work in the music industry and on the PR side, and we have, the famous Whisky a Go Go's here. So I don't know if that was just always kind of in my head, and it just kind of like came out of my mouth one day, and I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah. So, and I knew it had to be spelled correctly without the E. There's like a lot of people who try to get me to change that.
Oh no, whatever. Look at Maker's Mark.
I know, Old Forester, Maker's Mark. They all spell it correctly. I know. People need to get on board.
We'll take it. We take it either way. I'll do the whiskey.
I take it either way too. I don't discriminate. I love all whiskey, so
all right, now
I want to try it all.
If we're moving away from the Eagle Rare, anything you want to add, Scott?
Okay, do you
let's
do you score whiskeys? What kind of rating?
I can.
Do you?
For you, I will. I would give this like a solid 6.5
out of a 10.
Out of 10.
Sure. Now I usually will not score, and we scored. Well, I'll score on a regular show. I almost never score live because a lot of times we're trying stuff I've never had, and normally I'll sit down and spend time with it. But that is a good score, and I can't remember what we scored this when we did our pre-recorded.
Now
show.
I went and looked. I gave it a 90 when we scored it, and I'd say even now we've done quite a few more bourbon since. I think it's still at 88, 89. It's close to that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that's
a B plus.
It's good. It's a good bourbon. It's for $30. I think you're really getting your money's worth.
Yep.
I would happily keep it on my shelf and drink this all the time. So it's good.
Now that's a good story though. On my part, where the first time I had it and I wasn't that impressed with it. Maybe it was something I ate that day, or maybe something was on my palate, or just my taste buds weren't with it. And so I've always encouraged people, don't give up on something on the first try. If you don't like it, go try it again later. You don't know what you're going to get.
It's a good tip.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good tip.
Like your hat, your hair. It's like your hair.
Hey, I didn't give up on this. Yeah, I didn't give up on the leather visor, baby. You can't give up. That's exactly. Or the hair. Yeah, the hair's thinning, but that's right. We'll just go with it. I'll be wearing a yarmulke on a show someday just to cover the spot.
Dan E points out this is $29 in New Jersey.
29 in Jersey.
Wow.
See, I said he was Jersey. I knew it. I remembered it was Jersey. Now what?
$33 here.
So
Scotch. We got to do a Scotch because like Scotch.
I don't have Talisker or Oban.
I know. What? See, I've got all the Taliskers are at my house, Jenna.
Smart man.
Yeah, that's right. The Storm's there. The 10 years.
I've got some Lefroy's here.
What do you got?
What do you got?
You got the Lore. The Lore is delicious. You have the Lore by chance?
Talisker, I don't. I have the Alvini, the Caribbean Cask.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I have Highland Park. I have the Einar. I have.
Don't have that one.
Exceptional Grain.
Ooh, yeah.
We got that one. Matter of fact, I saw that in
Don Sutcliffe.
Who is like the nicest guy ever, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We had him on he came on live on the show. He's
now
great.
he wears Hawaiian shirts also.
Yes.
He's got an impressive collection.
Yeah, he's always got it.
He was on a whirlwind tour, man. When he came through, we met him at a tasting at one of our finer restaurants here, and then he was just all over the place. And then we had him kind of as he was wrapping up, he came on the show.
Yeah, he's it's funny, when I first kind of started posting to Instagram, this was actually one of the first whiskeys that I really kind of started, talking about and posting about. And he's so nice. He's so, willing to interact and to say thank you and, to support what you're doing. So I'm a big fan of his. So.
One of my early, is he on? First of all, a lot of times he'll come on and be in the comments.
I have not seen him comment tonight.
So he was probably our 6th live guest, would you say? Somewhere around there. He was early.
Like around Christmas time too, right?
I think so, yeah. And I still had these, like, every once I would have some pre-recorded questions that I've moved away from. One of which was, what's your favorite movie? Because he would have his movie quote.
Right.
I would ask favorite movie. And I didn't key it up, and I kind of hit him, kind of out of left field, and he stalled. And I'm goofy, stupid, and I meant no disrespect to him at all, but I said, could it be On Golden Pond? And he's like kicking me, like, what are you doing? Because we're live on the show. I'm like, what? That's a good show. And then he's like, no. And yeah, it was just and then he
tried
comments,
to smooth it over.
I tried.
And
what did I
say?
I don't even remember.
No,
it was a bad smooth.
Yeah. My mom likes that movie too.
I go, what? My mom likes that movie. It's not a bad movie.
Salt in the wound.
Right. Yeah. So he's kicking. He's literally looking at me. Do your face. You're like, it was I get that every now and then. Now, what was great was just to show again how awesome Don is. I think like a couple weeks later, he's commenting on some other live show we're doing, and he throws up On Golden Pond or something in the comments. And so that was good. That was because after the show, he's like, I think you pissed him off. I think you made him mad. I'm like, no.
There's no way. Yeah, he seems like he's just the nicest guy. Like, you want to just I don't really smoke cigars, but I would smoke a cigar to hang out with him. So and just hear his stories, because I'm sure he has some crazy stories. Macallan from the 80s, pretty remarkable. So
yes, and that's what's really cool with the Exceptional is, and you kind of found it's almost like the 180 from kind of Compass Box in terms of what he's doing.
The 180 from
right. Explain kind of how he's
even he Don will talk about though John Glazer and Compass Box and how he kind of they got him started, but he points out that John Glazer, a lot of his stuff, if you notice, he's using ex-bourbon casks, and he brings in a lot of vanilla and notes like that to kind of win over bourbon fans. So his idea was Don loves sherry.
That's why
my kind of man.
That's right.
So he's got his Macallan roots and blends, and he doesn't like peat at all. He doesn't want any peat in there at all.
Although one of them had a little bit of smoke.
The very first batch of the malt,
a lightly, which is all sold out and gone. But we got a little taste of that at the live show that he did. So, what do you get on the nose here, Jenna?
That's what I was trying to kind of figure out. It's almost like marshmallowy to me. There's something sweet. It's not like fruit sweetness. It's more like, I don't know, like a sugar.
I get like a cane sugar.
Yeah, like a cane sugar. That's a great way.
But you're right, the marshmallowy.
Like marshmallowy, like.
Yeah, it's definitely that marshmallowy, like you've just toasted it and you're getting ready to slap it in between the graham cracker.
Yes. By the way, you have to get the marshmallow black on the outside, and then you pull that off, and then it's just melty and gooey underneath.
Wow. See,
helpful tip of the day.
Cousin Shane, who's come on the show and sings, he came over. We were doing some fire pit stuff. He had these square marshmallows that are made particularly. I had not seen those.
For s'mores.
Yeah, and then he didn't do Hershey's chocolate bar. He actually brought over the chocolate cake frosting.
Oh.
That
That's
was
like next
cool.
level.
Yeah, I'm like,
No,
what are you
use
doing
the,
here?
Use the chocolate spread.
No, the Nutella?
Yeah.
Nutella?
Well, Nutella would be okay, but he had
Oh
this
my God.
chocolate, milk chocolate icing that he like is coating onto the cracker, and then he just slapped that marshmallow. And I was like, what is this? He's like, yeah, we're seasoned campers in the Cousin Shane family. Yeah, they are.
We camp a lot, so I'm gonna have to remember that.
Oh yeah, he had his own special like marshmallow tong things that extended into the fire. It was very cool.
Wow.
He's our
Very fancy camper.
Yeah, he's in a band and he comes on and he does redneck Shakespeare when we did the Epicurean. he sings. So he did a sonnet that he couldn't look me in the face while he did the little Shakespearean sonnet.
Now, I was going to point out the nose is definitely lighter and smoother from the bourbon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling for
this is delicious.
any notes
So good.
outside of a fruity sweetness.
Right. Do you get that little marshmallow?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, everything for me, well, it's because the Scotch is more of a soft climate. It's not a virgin oak cask generally, so I get a lot of subtler, smoother flavors.
Yes.
Yeah, out of
that. I was gonna say, like, Scotch to me is like bourbon's like comforting and warm. It's like, just I don't really know how else to describe it other than it's just. But like Scotch is like clean and it's sleek and it's I don't really know how else to describe it. But yeah, it's so good. I've been a huge fan of this for like a good year now. So
this is delicious. Exceptional grain. What are your flavor notes, Scott?
Now I was going to point out I am getting a grainy grassiness, maltiness, not maltiness, but just a grassiness. A light vanilla.
I get a
citrus.
Vanilla. You get a powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar sweetness.
Yes.
How about you?
This isn't like a fruity. I don't get like fruit notes from this like at all. I'm trying to kind of come up with the right term for it. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's I can agree that it definitely has those grassy, light undertones. I don't know. I have to keep drinking it. Check that in a minute.
Yeah, I just got like a little hint of like crisp pear.
Now this is also
a refreshing pear.
In our area, depending on which one you buy from the grain, the malt, or the blend, they're $90 to $110. And I think even the newer batches, I haven't seen under 100.
Are the new ones out?
Just batch 2 I was looking at, and I was at one of the bigger stores the other day. But about a month or two ago, I was at Groves, and I was talking to the manager, and they kind of had some bottles that they had on the clearance. They set in one area of the store.
Sure.
And there was a bottle of the exceptional grain sitting there. I think it was $59.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Well, and I go, and I stand there talking to him for a while about some of the bottles, and I said, "Well, that's a pretty good price you got on the exceptional grain there." And he looks at it, and we'd been talking. He goes, "How does 39 sound?"
Oh, what?
And I go,
"Wow,
$39."
Stop there.
Put it in the cart.
In the cart.
Jeez, Louise, that's a steal.
Like a technique. You told him that was a good price, and he brought it down lower.
I know.
How is that? I'm taking you to the car dealer. That's a hell of a price you got on that vet there. All right, we'll take another 10 grand off for you. Wow, thank you, sir. Wow.
Jeez. It's like the ultimate bargain right there.
Yeah. Wow. Though I take it they don't have more.
There's a lot of comments coming in about Glendronach's. A while back, Roy commented he got lucky. He was in Colorado, stopped at a small liquor store, got 3 bottles of the Glendronach 15-year revival.
Wow.
For $90.
Where in Colorado?
3 bottles? Wow.
I think it was Durango.
Durango, way south.
So we've had a lot of comments coming in on the Glendronach. Dimplezone is asking, has anybody tried the Glendronach peated cask? No.
You're talking my language, though.
I know, right? I want to try it.
Me too. Eat it. We were joking around because I teased Scott about I think we were doing a peated whiskey, and I said just because it isn't Zima, and now everybody's saying Zima's back out. And I said
they did. They re-released it, and I saw a bunch of people buying it, and I'm like, that is a bad choice. Don't do that.
Yeah, people were showing us pictures online, and I said, if they make a peated Zima, I'm on board, baby.
Right?
We had to send it. Make sure we got one picture.
Who?
Claire.
Oh, Claire the third.
He picked up a 6-pack.
That's right.
A peated Zima. Oh my god.
No, not just the regular Zima, but
they need it though. I'm going to find a way to peat it.
If you find a way, be sure to send me a sample, please.
Yes. I
would love to review that.
I was trying to think of the heavy, not like a cheap bottle, like the black bottle or something very creosote, very smoky, and to see if I could somehow peat up the Zima a little bit. I might try a little Zima blending.
You should try it. Yeah, you should. I think you're onto something.
That might happen. That may actually happen, Jenna. I think that'll happen.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's it. What do you got, Scott?
Okay.
You're reading something. I can see it.
A couple of things. Jesse Voisin is asking a question, but I'm going to point out we just got a care package from Jesse today. I haven't even showed you yet.
Really? He hadn't shown me, Jesse.
Man, he's hiding that from you.
Jesse's our aardvark pilot.
He was, at F-111.
That's right.
He sent us samples. His Father's Day Scotch was, I don't know how to pronounce it, Anisach, 25-year-old.
Oh, I'm sure you're right on.
But he sent us pictures of the bottle.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
We've got
cask reserve.
We got 2 F-16 Shaw Air Force Base challenge coins.
Look at that. This is a nice little care package.
And some pictures. I'll show you later. And Jesse, the tequila did not survive the trip.
Oh, no.
It got broke in the, good thing he had it wrapped in a paper towel. It was a Tears of Lorana Tequila's Higher Octave. So, sorry, Jesse.
Didn't make it.
But Jesse had asked earlier if you had seen there was a Big Pete Phage Isle edition that was sherried.
What?
Had you seen that?
From last?
No, I haven't.
This year? This past?
Douglas Lang's Big Pete from the Phage Isle Festival.
Phage Isle. That's what threw me.
Oh.
I was going to say Big Pete's Douglas Lang, and I had not seen that.
Is that right, Jesse? Was it a sherry-based one? Is that what he's asking if we'd seen? We have not seen it if it's out.
That's the guy that's getting punched in the face by the Pete.
Yeah.
What did the can look like? Was it a orange can? I think I might have seen the can somewhere.
I haven't seen. There's the new Octomore they had out.
That is true.
OBA.
That's the Black Arts.
I saw that.
Isn't that the Black Arts Octomore?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
God, I can't even imagine what magic is in that bottle. Jeez. I was just sent a sample from Chris from Single Malt Savvy. Sent me a sample. I'm actually using his Glencairn glass. So hi, Chris.
Cool.
He sent me sample of the Black Arts. It's been at the top of my list, and he was kind enough to send it over. So I have about half left, and I'm saving it. I'm really trying to hang on to it. So
yes, my first taste was the 3.1. And I was down in Dallas at a board game convention, and I was running it.
A board game? Wait, time out.
Oh,
board game convention.
Yes.
I'm so
like Candyland and
yes, perfect.
No.
Yes.
Monopoly, Scrabble.
Well,
do you know what a brony is, Jenna?
Yes, I do. Stop it. Do you have a Rainbow Dash costume in your closet? That's what you should be wearing on the show.
Oh my. See, the first thing I'll tell you is just like someone, if you just said, hey, you're reviewing whiskey, they might think Jack Daniel's honey, right?
Ugh, stop.
Right? Exactly. All right. So I can just tell you there are probably 20,000 board games that come out a year.
But you were at a convention for board games?
Oh, yeah. One of many.
Wait, and that's where you had the Black Arts?
Oh, yeah. I ran a Scotch tasting down in Dallas.
That is amazing.
Yep. There was a guy that makes board game specific tables that are like $4,000 to $5,000 a piece. It's called Geek.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. Geek Chic. And another guy from Jersey who he's a board game publisher, says, hey, you got to go. He's got this, he's some Wall Street trader guy. He goes, you got to go see the Geek Sheet guy. He heard you're doing a Scotch deal, and he's huge into Scotch. I come over. He's like with a guy, and I go, and he's like, hey, be with you in a second. I go, that's right. Bonaccord just sent me over here because of the Scotch. He stops, pulls me behind this like vendor thing, and pulls out this Black Arts and says, have you seen this? All right, now see, Scott's pointing as watching. This is gold.
I've been told by 10 people
this
to Velvet
is gold.
Elvis, yeah.
Oh God. Okay, well, needless to say,
that's pretty amazing. Sorry to derail.
I'm talking too much. That's our safe word. When I talk too much. Yeah, so long story short, he poured some Black Arts 3.1 into like a plastic cup, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's a good story.
That's it. I had to buy a bottle. I knew Scott would like it.
Mark
Oh, here we go. They're going to make fun of me now.
He asked, did Bart pay her to ask about board games?
No, but she mocked me appropriately. I was mocked with Candyland. Actually, the first videos I ever did, I was a board game reviewer.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Yes, thank you.
We'll
talk later. We'll talk later.
But I will say that on this, the more that I drink it, I get a lot of like toasty notes on this. That's probably the best way to describe it. Not like bourbon toasted notes, more like toast.
Right.
Like, you know.
I get you.
Like breakfast toasted.
Yes.
Yes. Like breakfast. Yes.
Something like that.
Right.
Yes.
No. Yeah, you're right in. It's that subtler, you're right, like toasted Wonder Bread.
Yes. I think that is Wonder Bread. Yep, that's it.
Perfect. That was a great segue back to the whiskey too.
It was. I was trying to save it here.
You did a wonderful job. You're like we had never left the whiskey at all.
Go ahead and tell them real quick what your board game channel is.
It's bonding through board games, bonding with board games.
You don't even know?
Well, my wife has her channel. It's almost the same through K-State.
Bonding with board games.
Right.
Yes.
It's almost a dead channel. We've gotten so busy here. I had a company send me a game, and they were like, "Hey, you got to get a review out." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And
I'm too busy drinking whiskey.
I was slowing down. Well, Bruno mocked me because like, you got all these games. I got like 800 games. I'm like, yeah. If they ever send us as many whiskey as they sent me games, we'll be in high cotton.
Yeah. You should just throw like a big board game whiskey convention.
Oh, that happens. That's been known to happen. We've got a few crossovers. There's a lot of board game fans that love whiskey, but we better come back. Scott's reading a comment, and he'll kick me somehow through the table.
Well, someone pointed out we need to get the Black Arts 5.1, which we have.
Right.
Our review, we are saving it for our 350th review.
That's right.
And we'll also have the very last coin from Cask 1.
That's right.
Coin number 250 we will use during that review.
We sign that, it goes up on eBay.
And then we'll put it on eBay.
Boom.
Awesome.
Yes. So, Jenna, what else do you have going on? Give them kind of like your whole CV or whatever you want them to look at or go to or plug it up.
Well, you can just find me on Instagram. It's Whiskey A Go Girl. And then on Thursday of this week, we will be revealing a project that we are going to start. I was approached a few months ago by some pretty brilliant people here in Los Angeles. And all I can say is that we are going to kind of just take Whiskey A Go Girl to the next level. And it's a pretty exciting project. And we'll reveal all of the good, juicy details on Thursday. We'll be doing a live stream from the studio, and we'll kind of spill the beans. And so that's really all I can say.
That's a cool thing about being in LA.
Yeah, it's I'm originally from Texas. And then I met my husband in Atlanta, where I was living, going to college, and ended up here in LA. And for the first couple of years, I hated living here. It's very different from the South. That's what I was, where I grew up, and that's what I was used to. But I can't imagine being anywhere else now. I really love it out here. So it's a really awesome city. So and the next, hopefully in the fall, we'll be having a big whiskey announcement for the city of Los Angeles too that I'm working on. So yeah, so some pretty big stuff.
Very
Exciting
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
You've got some great board game cafes in LA too.
Oh, really?
See, Bruno, go back. Rich Summerer from Mad Men is a huge board gamer, and
Okay.
I've tried to get him on the show, but I don't think he's going to come on. So there you go. The Devil Wears Prada. He was in that. Nothing. Come on. You can go.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Whatever. I just took you off your game.
What on Thursday, that's where I was going. On Thursday, you said you'll make your reveal. Where do we go? Where do we go to find out?
It'll be on Instagram. It'll be a stream, an Instagram live stream on Thursday.
On your feed?
On my feed. And we'll kind of reveal everything that we've been working on and what is happening. And
all right. Well, I'm going to say when you're big and famous, whatever it is, when you're super famous, then we will be begging to come on your show, whatever our thing it is, because we don't know. You haven't told us either. So
no, my lips are sealed.
There you go. I'll wear the hat.
So.
Now, earlier you mentioned the Abv Network, and I have seen that. I don't know anything about it. What is the Abv Network?
Okay, so the Abv Network was started by, so Steve Akeley is, he's kind of the boss, I guess. He's probably gonna love that I said that. And him and Evan Haskell and a guy named Seth Brown kind of started this bourbon community, very similar to, you know, what Instagram kind of is. They just made this intimate bourbon community where they have podcasts. They have a bunch of different ones. They have like a beer review podcast. They have the Bourbon Daily, where they bring people on. They have, how I was introduced to it is I was asked to be on Who Wants to Be a Bourbon Millionaire, and you have an opportunity to win. I think it's like 21 samples of bourbon, and I studied for that. I mean, I studied for that harder than I studied for my SAT. Like I was like really new into the journey, so I was like studying really, really hard. And I think the question that kind of gave me the boot was a Buffalo Trace question, actually. So that's how I was introduced to it. And so I've been doing some work for them over the past couple of months, and they're growing pretty fast and rapidly. So it's basically just this online bourbon community of, you know, people who kind of all share the same interest in bourbon. So it's a really, really cool thing. So
good, neat. Yeah, and I've seen that. I've seen several people with that kind of in their tagline, the ABV.
Yeah, and they do like giveaways, and they do they have, like I said, a bunch of different podcasts. They bring people onto the show. They play the Who Wants to Be a Bourbon Millionaire. They do some really cool stuff, and it's a really great group of people, really just awesome group of people. So
we would never win that show. We are the true dummies.
It's hard. The questions are really hard.
Scott might be good. I can barely remember what we reviewed last month.
You should go on it and see. I'm serious. Like, you know what? I'm going to put in a good word for you, and I'm just going to sign you up for it.
We would have to go on as like a joint team.
You should. You totally should.
I would get like one question that would be some obscure, crazy. He'd be like, "How the hell?"
Those are the questions. Like, he asked really hard questions. Like, I think there's one person who's won it. One. Like, the questions are hard.
It would be like, he'd ask, "What's the primary ingredient in bourbon?" And Bart would just blurt out, "Ice cream."
Yeah, mash bill.
I'd be like, "What the hell are you doing, man?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "Corn, man, corn." I'd be like, "Oh, I thought it was mash bill." Yeah, and then they'd have something hard. I can't even think of it. And I would be, I would go, "I got it." And I would have no faith or trust.
I think like one of my questions was like, which distillery like makes Ancient Age?
Oh my god!
And then I think I can't remember the specific question, but it was definitely a Buffalo Trace question.
Wow. See, he's not kidding. We had someone in the comments say we needed to try Glenlivet 18, which we did a show on. It's the first time Cousin Shane came on the show and sang.
It's an iconic show for us.
Yeah, it's like one of our big cool shows because it's the first time we add in this whole singing element. And I'm like, that sounds great.
I love, the 18 is really good, but the 15 is my favorite. That 15 is, man.
Well, my father's passed, but when I answer a question like that, sounds like a good idea, and I get the look, it's like the father figures back, like idiot.
Keeping you in check. You better be careful around you.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. I feel like you're back. It's like I'm back driving that Ford Bronco the first time, 3 on the tree, and I'm getting ready to make a turn too fast, and he's screaming, "You're gonna roll it! You're gonna roll it!" Sorry, that happened. When you're in the mountains, you drive 4-wheel drives. It's a whole new sport. So
22 Catch 22 had pointed out Steve Ackley. He must be the founder, the starter of the ABV.
Akley, yeah, Steve Akley, yeah.
Akley. He just followed us on Instagram. Matter of fact, the other day.
He's smart.
I saw that's probably where I saw the Abv Network as well, and he had a lot of followers. So I was like,
he's really so incredibly knowledgeable and so nice. Like he's like just the nicest guy. So he's definitely a good one to follow.
We've had a few comments now about Cousin Shane coming back on. And let's just, for those that are watching, if you don't know Cousin Shane, he comes on. He doesn't sing in every episode. He's a hell of a singer.
Hell of a singer. He's the lead singer in a band.
The first show that he came on was the Glenlivet 18, and he sang Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Right.
Beautiful. He does a beautiful
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Not Hallelujah is a whole other deal.
Say, what's a Sazerac, right?
Sazerac.
Yes.
I like to put the Z. It's Zazzy. Yeah, I put the Z in there. It's a Zazrai.
Makes it very sassy.
So, right. Anyway, though, if you haven't watched the Glenlivet 18, go watch it. You get a good
right.
And Shane's been on 6, 7, 8 times, and he's probably sang 4 or 5 times.
Well, here's the tip, though. We're doing July 8th. We're doing 12 hours of Boom. That's going to be 12 shows, noon to midnight.
Wow.
With 15-minute breaks, and Cousin Shane shall make an appearance with his guitarist.
Maybe 1 or 2. He won't be. He's going to be singing probably in the last one for sure.
I want him on more.
Yeah.
By then, we're going to need it.
Yeah.
Can we make requests on what he sings?
You may.
Yes.
Have a request list?
We've been wanting people to even call in. We may do a call-in thing. I don't know. His guitarist hit me up and was nervous. His guitarist is like, "What do you guys? What is Cousin Shane singing?" I said, "I don't know. Get with him."
What's your request?
What's your request?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, see, she was just saying. Okay. Call in later. He thought you had something specific.
No, not anything. I'm just curious. I'd have to really come up with a good one. Like something.
We've got if we get to Matt and lockdown.
Right.
Well, it's going to be. We've got our shows are set. We'll release the schedule here before long. We'll put it on our website.
We're going to do a couple like little fun, frolicky, like spots, little ads for it, aren't we? We were going to do that last time we filmed.
That what?
Little spots, like 2-minute things on.
Just put out some
12 hours of Boom
stuff. Yeah,
kind of funny, larky, kind of.
Yeah, you should.
Oh yeah.
Now another thing we've got coming up, we're going to film next week is a 16 bourbon shootout.
Bam!
It's going to be blind. We won't. We've got 16 bourbons.
Double blind.
I did a little video on Twitter and Instagram, kind of teasing it. I think there's only 11 of our bourbons in that, but we do have the other 5 locked down. Before long, we're going to put up a poll on our website. You can go vote for your favorite.
Love that.
Yeah.
Is our Scottish friend helping us with that?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Of course.
Thank you. Well, I thought you thought I was going to do it.
No. Yeah.
I love blind tastings. I think they are.
They're
my favorite. They're my favorite.
Yes, we agree. Joanne McGinnis, Whiskey Lassie, was like, you got to try doing some stuff blind.
Yeah.
Because it just blows. You don't realize those preconceived.
It's impossible not to do it. It's impossible. That's what done a few blind series, and I've had some pretty crazy stuff in there, and it's really interesting you taste things very differently, not knowing what the heck it is you're drinking. So
100%.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of those.
Genius.
I'm going back for a little bit more.
Back in. It's good.
It's okay. I went back for more too.
There you go. I better not. I could just go straight from the bottle.
Yeah, it's a good one. This is my second bottle of this, and I'm a big fan.
Very cool. Where are we at, Scott? I saw some comments rolling
just
in.
a lot of comments and people talking now, both about the 12 hours of boom and the 16 bourbon shootout. But what we are planning on doing with that is I'm going to take the 16 bourbons and I'm going to pour them into 4-ounce sample bottles.
Right.
And I'll mark them 1 through 16 and I'll write down what they are. Then I'm going to give them to Bart.
First of all, that's very complicated.
Bart is going to take them. He won't know what, he just knows they're 1 through 16.
Right.
And you're going to reassign a letter to them. And I won't know what one you give what.
A lot of trust.
So he's going to have to keep his master key and I'm going to have to keep my master key. And then at the end, when we're done, we'll go through and we'll do 4. He's just going to draw 4 for me. I'm going to draw 4 for him.
So they may not even be the same.
Might not even be the same.
That's a little freaky.
And then we'll go through. We pick our favorite of the 4. Then we go to the next
Scott's idea.
So there's like 4 brackets of 4. The sweet
It's a great
16.
idea.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because you could eventually pick, a bourbon that you weren't crazy about could end up being your favorite.
Right.
Yeah. And we're going to have Van Winkle 12 Lot B is going to be in there. Weller's 12, Elmer T. Lee.
You found Weller 12?
Which one?
Yes.
The 12. Yeah. I just called 2 places here in LA, and the first person wanted, I think, like $160, and the second person wanted $200. I was like, I was like, you can keep it.
on the Wellers?
Yes.
It's doing the same thing. Yeah. Luckily, you picked that up like a year ago,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah. He kind of picked it up when it was still the poor man's Pappy.
Yeah.
And
now it's like the same price. It's
crazy.
Well, Claire is saying that those 3 will be in the top bracket. It's going to be we're not going to know what's going up against.
We don't even know.
It's going to be N against K and B and
right. Well, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because the name isn't like you don't know what you dropped on it.
Once we are done and we figure out the master key and what one, when we post the videos, we will put the what we're tasting will be up there for the viewers to see. So you'll know what we're tasting, but we won't.
All right. Now we'll get ready to wrap up. But Jenna, say again, when's your special announcement? Where can they find you and what time?
This Thursday, June 29th, I think it's the 29th, I will be doing an Instagram live feed. I'm not sure what time exactly it'll be, probably earlier in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. And I'll kind of reveal everything. But you can find me on Instagram at Whisky Go Girl, and that's Whisky without the E. And feel free to say hi or send me a message or.
Good. He's writing it. Whisky a Go Girl. He's getting that down now. Just in case you got some visual learners instead of auditory.
Just like that. Beautiful.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, that sounds awesome.
And that's it. Yeah. So we'll share all the news on Thursday and
very exciting and good luck with all of those.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was so much fun. I appreciate it very much.
Now hang on the line. We're going to shut down the live. Food Quig will take over for the after party here. Go Food Quig, go.
In fact, Food Quig is still watching. And Food Quig, we told her about you before the show because you had your before show party going.
The before and after.
Food Quig is pointing out that, Jenna, you should go ahead and add YouTube video reviews to your repertoire.
Boom.
All right.
By the way,
keep that in mind.
Didn't Food Quig's last after party go 5 hours?
Oh, that was not his last one. 2 or 3 times ago,
God,
he went for 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yes. So why
is Food Quig not on Instagram?
See, Food Quig, get on Instagram.
Get it together.
Now, I will defend Food Quig because it took him a while to get signed into Google Hangouts to join us. So I don't know if I want Food Quig to try to figure out Instagram.
You got it, Food Quig.
I believe in you.
Yes. Jenna believes in you, and I'm with you, Food. See, he's commenting, isn't he?
Food Quig says, give me a moment to take a pee before I go
online. There you go, Food Quig. Too much information.
Yeah, you get what you get.
Well, when you're going to be on 5 hours, you better take a pit stop before you start live. That's for sure.
Let's say also, though, joining us, I know Whiskey in the Six has been with us tonight.
Oh, still sporting the beard?
Malted in Montreal has been with us.
That's a French Canadian with a great beard. It's sexy from a man's point of view.
The Malted Man Cave has been with us, and we're watching you on YouTube as well, Malted Man. And Carl, the Devil's Milk, has been with us as well. And I'm sorry if I skip somebody. Scotch for Dummies, you guys have been with us.
Scotch 4.
We're going to have them on a live stream. We're going to do the Glen Drone at 15.
Are they coming on the boom?
No.
12 hours of boom? No. Okay, sorry.
And if I missed anybody, Bubba and the Beard, they've been here.
A lot of beards.
Yep.
A lot of beards.
A lot of beards going on, Jenna.
We got a lot of good guys teaming up with us and doing reviews on YouTube, on the YouTubes. Give them a go.
Cool. All right, now hang tight with us as we shut down the live, Jenna, and we'll after chat.
We have to say,
Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Dummies.
Cilantro.
No E.
No E.